Hello, lovely students. Once again, I'm Professor Badr with you. And as in my previous video, I spoke about the percentages will be discussed, or I will teach you how to do percentages in the pie charts. So I'm here to do and solve the same problem for you guys. So without wasting even a single moment, I would like to talk about the percentages as you can see in the pie charts. Okay, before I start, I would like to say that I have chosen the same pie chart because you are very well familiar with this pie chart, because in my previous video I told you how to do the head sentence for the same chart. So it's better we go with this same pie chart because you already know about these pie charts, and it will be more understandable for you guys if you do this pie chart or these pie charts. Anyway, um, as you can see that there are five categories given. In the five categories, different percentages have been given, and always remember why different percentages are given, because the examiner wants to check your grammar, your grip on English, and things like that. If he wants, of course, he can give all the percentages in the same way, but it would not give a proper assessment of your knowledge. So they always keep the percentages different so that they can check you or make an assessment of your knowledge in different ways. Before you start doing your summary, you should understand that you can do start from wherever you want. You can begin with the highest category, the lowest category, the highest percentage, the lowest percentage. But I don't recommend the percentage which is neither the highest nor the lowest, because it does not give you a chance to make your sentence, the very first sentences of your summary, attractive and captivating. So, following the same thing, I would also love to start with the other goods and services, where 29% of the budget is on Malaysian, on Japanese side, and Malaysians also have almost the same percentage. Now, the first and foremost mistake a student makes is that they do it in the present sentence, which would be definitely unacceptable because the data belongs to the year 2010. So, when the data is given in the year 2010, you must not be doing it in the present form. Of course, on Google, I myself have seen many blogs where it's done in the present, but my experience says it's unacceptable and it does not attract the examiner at all. Now, we can see that 29% of the budget was spent by Japan in 2010 on other goods and services, and 26% of the budget was spent by Malaysia on the same category in 2010. So, what would be the unacceptable or bad attempt if a student does? It would be the given pie charts tell that Malaysia spent 29% and Japan spent 29% on other goods and services, and Malaysia spent 26% on other goods and services. Now there is no variety. You are just turning the words into language, so there is nothing to impress. If you wish to impress the examiner, you have to bring something novel, something impressive, something captivating, and your very first sentences must show that you do have the knowledge of knowledge how to explain the things. But keep in mind, there are various ways you can begin with your head sentence. What would be the best way? It is visible from the given data that, or it is clear from the given data that, or you can say the given data or the given percentages clearly indicate that. There can be many other very powerful sentences as well, but these are some sentences I have just spoken. You can write in the beginning. But of course, when I do this percentage, I mean related to other goods and services, I will be using different languages so that you can understand more and more. So the given data clearly indicates, I mean, the first sentence I'm going to speak, you should note it down, it's written as well. This would be considered a very nice beginning. The given data clearly indicates that Japan spent maximum of its budget on okay, when you say maximum of its budget, you should enclose it 29% within brackets. 29% of its budget on other goods and services. Okay, many students say this very well. They write it in a very nice way. But when they compare it with the other percentage, they make mistakes. What type of mistakes they make? I'll try to explain those mistakes as well. The given data clearly indicates that given data clearly emanates that the given it is visible from the given data that Japan spent 29% of the budget on on other goods and services. Now you have to see if it is 29%, how how much is the difference there? How many percentages it is more or less? So as you can see, it's just 3% more than the Malaysian budget spent by the Malaysia. So you should be saying the given data clearly indicates, or it is clear from the given data that Japan spent 29% of the budget on other goods and services, which is just 3% more than the budget spent by Malaysia, or than the Malaysian budget spent on the same category. Means these are two different types of languages or sentences you can write. Now, this was the first formula or first style or first method I discussed. Now, how can you do it in another way that is, of course, very impressive? It would be it is clear from the given data, or the given data clearly indicates that maximum budget was spent by Japan on other goods and services. Now you have to prove whether it is maximum or not. Some students, the budget is not maximum and they call it maximum. It's also unacceptable and shows your poor understanding of the given data there. So maximum budget, how can we indicate it? By putting 29% in bracket and close it in the small brackets, and it would be visible that you do understand. So the Japan spent maximum of its budget on other goods and services, which is 29%, or 29% of the budget, which is maximum, was spent by Japan on other goods and services, which is 3% more than Malaysian budget, or than the budget spent by Malaysia. Now the first style I used was active style, and the other style I used was passive style. Keep in mind, passive style sounds a bit complicated, but complicated style is more appreciated by the examiners. So I recommend you guys to use this one. The other thing you should keep in mind, you should be able to you should be able to understand heavy subjects and heavy objects. Now, if you say 29% of the total budget, it is a heavy object, and if you use it, it would be very captivating and impressive. So, The other very nice way is that 29% of the budget was spent on other goods and services by Japan in 2010, which is 3% more than the budget spent by Malaysia in the same year. So, this is another way, and another very nice way, which is my favorite to be honest, and it would be more complicated but more acceptable by the examiner. It is clear from the given data that both Japan and Malaysia, now you will be bringing two countries together. Of course, it is a bit complicated and not every student can do that, but if you do this way, it would be more acceptable. If you say, it is clear from the given data, or the given data clearly indicates that both Japan and Malaysia spent a huge budget, which is 29% to 26% on other goods and services, with the difference of just 3%. Or, I misplaced the percentages. You should say it is clear from the given data that both Japan and Malaysia spent maximum of their budget. Now you should put the percentages 29% and 26% within bracket with a difference of just 3%. This is very important that you must mention the difference there. It also shows your grip on language as well. So with a difference of just 3% on other goods and services in the year 2010. Right? I hope so. You must have learned by now how should you be doing your very first sentence, and how such percentages should be dealt with, where the difference is about 3%, 2%, 1%, and how should you be doing this. Please do not repeat the very first sentence before when I started this video. I said the given data tell that Japan spent 29% and Malaysia spent 26% on the goods and services. This shows no variety of language at all, and it also gives a message that your understanding of the language is very simple, and you are not able to write or understand or speak complicated language. Of course, if you can write complicated language, you can speak complicated language as well. And if you can't write, you can't speak it. So when you do a pie chart, it gives a lot of information about your knowledge to the examiner. Anyway, if you want me to explain anything else about this type of percentage, please write down in the comments. I will be doing that for you. And if you are satisfied, please say that as well. And thank you so much for watching my video. And in the next video, I will be dealing with the same pie chart but another percentage with a different way, of course. Till then, take great care of yourself, and keep in your prayers. Thank you so much. Have a lovely and safe life. Bye bye.